So one night after my wife and I had been married for over 20 years, we had this habit of, praying together at the end of our bed and then hopping up in our bed. And a lot of times we would chat about the kids or kind of events that were happening or things that were coming up, and just kind of square up with each other, make sure we were in a good place. And I remember after a few minutes of chat, my wife looked over at me with tears in her eyes, big giant tears. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, you really love me, don't you?" And I thought, immediately I said, "Of course I do. You have no idea how much I love you, sweetie." And that's what I said. But in my mind, I was messed up because I'm thinking, how could she not know that already? We've been married over 20 years. We got 6 kids. I've never done anything to make her think that I didn't love her. I buy her flowers. I just kind of in my mind was listing all these things that I thought made me a good husband and showed my love for her. And it bothered me for a few days until I finally came to this realization. And the realization was this: it doesn't matter. What matters now is that she knows I love her deeply. She knows beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I didn't even care anymore at that point because I realized that was what was most important. And the reason I bring this story up is because I think a lot of times as men, we think we're showing our love. We think we're displaying the love we have for our wives on a consistent basis. And in our minds, I think we are. But sometimes it takes more. Sometimes it takes time. In the case of my wife, over 20 years for her to really, really, really know that I love her. And I'm so grateful that she knew that before she passed away. And I remember a buddy of mine calling him and talking to him, and after a few minutes he said, "I know it's not really a consolation, but she knew how much you loved her." And I said, "I think she did." And he said, "I've been married over 20 years too, and I'm not sure my wife knows." And I said, "Well, what are you going to do?" And he said, "I'm going to work hard to make sure she knows, just in case." I said, "I think it's a great idea." But anyway, sometimes, guys, it takes time for our women to understand how deeply we love them. Give them that time. Stay with it. Stay on it. Be a good man for as long as it takes for them to understand how much you love them. Have a great day. Bye-bye.